wanted across Israel, Sweden, England, Germany, Denmark, and Norway. The Tinder Swindler, or Simon Leviev, posed as the king of diamonds to impress independent women, indefinitely robbing them of their every possession. From charming his way into luxury lifestyles to orchestrating elaborate schemes, discover the jaw-dropping details of Simon Leviev's audacious cons and their devastating aftermath. Shimon Hayut, an Israeli fugitive, fled his home country in 2011 to evade charges related to fraud committed in his early 20s. He faced accusations of stealing checks from the families he worked for, using the stolen funds to finance flying lessons and purchase a luxury Porsche. He sought refuge in Finland, where he was convicted in 2015 for defrauding 3 women, receiving a 2-year prison sentence, as reported by the Times of Israel. Throughout his life, Leviev's modus operandi has been to assume false identities, whether as a pilot, real estate expert, or by legally changing his name from Shimon Hayut to Simon Leviev. He often pretended to be associated with Lev Avnerovich Leviev, an Israeli tycoon renowned as the King of Diamonds. Leviev would leverage these fabricated personas to perpetrate various scams, amassing considerable wealth to sustain his lavish lifestyle. His ostentatious lifestyle, reminiscent of the stereotypical billionaire fantasy, included private jets, supercars, designer clothing, and glamorous companions. Leviev flaunted this opulence on social media platforms like Instagram, where he amassed over 258,000 followers, portraying himself as a billionaire living the high life. Not content with merely showcasing his wealth online, Leviev also frequented the popular dating app Tinder, where he continued to display his luxurious lifestyle. His Tinder profile boasted of being a well-traveled diamond merchant, a claim with some truth considering his extensive travels to evade authorities in Israel, England, Denmark, Germany, Sweden, and Norway. Recent Instagram posts depict Leviev proudly posing with a red Lamborghini Aventador Spider, lounging in a chauffeur-driven limousine, and enjoying first-class cuisine aboard private jets. With such carefully curated images of luxury and success, it's unsurprising that many fell victim to his elaborate ruse. Returning to Israel in 2017, he soon fled to Europe once more, adopting the alias Simon Leviev to evade arrest. This marks the beginning of the saga detailed in the Tinder Swindler. Operating under his false identity, he portrayed himself as an affluent heir involved in the diamond industry with LLD Diamonds, falsely claiming to be the son of Lev Leviev, a prominent figure in Israel known as the King of Diamonds. Despite the legitimacy of LLD Diamonds and Lev Leviev, Simon Leviev has no affiliation with the renowned diamond tycoon family. According to the Times of Israel, Lev Leviev himself filed a police complaint against Hayut for misrepresenting himself as his son. Simon regularly flaunted his lavish lifestyle on social media, often sharing photos of himself inside luxurious private jets like the G650 and Bell 206B Jet Ranger 3 helicopter, as well as cruising in high-end cars such as the Bentley Continental GT and Ferrari 458 Spider. This extravagant display led observers to estimate his net worth between $1 million to $5 million. Although Simon isn't born into wealth, his extravagant spending habits are evident. He frequently showcases designer attire from brands like Fendi and Gucci, and dines at exclusive restaurants where even his dog indulges in gourmet meals. Despite facing legal issues, including a 15-month prison sentence for fraud, theft, and forgery in 2019, later reduced to 5 months due to good behavior and COVID-19 concerns, Simon wasted no time in returning to his affluent lifestyle. He has been seen splurging on luxury vehicles like Ferraris and Bentleys and socializing with celebrities like French Montana. Despite his criminal activities, Simon continues to live a high life, largely funded by the substantial sums he has swindled from women worldwide. One such victim, London-based Norwegian Cecilia Fjellhøy, was deceived into believing Simon was the son of an Israeli billionaire. She ended up taking out loans totaling $200,000 to assist him, only to never recover any of the money. Cecilia's story is just one of many victims of Simon's deceitful schemes. He's very smart about it. He doesn't ask for money the first time, it's more security of the name. I know it's the same thing. I can't use my cards because they're going to track my name. So, can I use your card so I can travel under the name Cecilia Fjellhøy? Cecilia Fjellhøy. In addition to Cecilia, Simon also victimized Pernilla Hulholm and Eileen Charlotte, leaving them financially devastated. How did Simon manage to execute such a successful scam? If it were so easy to impersonate a billionaire, we might see more individuals like him. Firstly, he masqueraded as a Leviath, claiming to be the son of the billionaire Russian-Israeli diamond magnate Lev Leviev, hence his name, Change. When questioned about assuming a false identity, he asserted his right to be called whatever he pleased. However, Lev Leviev, a prominent businessman, philanthropist, and investor worth approximately $1.5 billion, quickly debunked Simon's claims, disassociating himself from Simon and notifying the authorities. Even Lev's company, LLD Diamonds, publicly denounced Simon as a fraudster. Nevertheless, Simon persisted in using his fabricated identity to deceive women on Tinder, portraying himself as a wealthy heir immersed in the perilous diamond industry, initiating long-distance relationships. However, his deception came to an end when Tinder banned him following the release of the Netflix documentary. Convincing anyone of his false narrative became significantly more challenging after this revelation, but Simon spared no effort in embellishing his tale to appear credible at the time. Simon went to great lengths to maintain his facade, employing a faithful bodyguard and enlisting friends to pose as business associates. He used funds obtained from previous scams to impress his current targets with lavish gifts and luxury trips, presenting chauffeur-driven limo rides and private jet excursions as mere introductions. However, his tactics took a darker turn as the relationship progressed. Simon would fabricate scenarios of danger, sending videos of his bodyguard supposedly injured to manipulate his victims into providing financial support for his supposed safety. To justify his need for financial assistance, Simon spun tales about needing to use credit cards under someone else's name to evade surveillance by his alleged enemies. Consequently, these unsuspecting women extended credit, took out loans, and even transported cash to him under the assumption that he would reimburse them given his purported billionaire status as the Prince of Diamonds. Unfortunately, Simon never fulfilled his promises, providing them with worthless checks, fake watches, and failed bank transactions. Following his 2-year stint in a Finnish prison in 2015, Leviev became a fugitive wanted in several countries, including Israel, Sweden, England, Germany, Denmark, and Norway. However, it wasn't until 2019 when Greek authorities apprehended him for using a fraudulent passport that he was deported back to Israel, despite denying all allegations during an interview with Israel's Channel 12 News, stating, "I never portrayed myself as the son of anyone, but people let their imaginations run wild." He was ultimately sentenced to 15 months in prison. In December 2019, Leviev was convicted of fraud, theft, and forgery, receiving the same 15-month prison sentence. Following 5 months behind bars, he was released early for good behavior. Exposed to his deceitful schemes, Simon has expanded his ventures. He launched a website proclaiming himself as a self-made wealthy businessman, offering business advice for a fee. Additionally, he has ventured into the entertainment industry, signing with talent manager Gina Rodriguez of Gitoni Inc., exploring opportunities such as hosting a podcast, a dating show, and writing a book. Furthermore, Simon has joined the popular app Cameo, earning significant income by providing personalized video messages to fans. Despite his fraudulent activities, Simon's notoriety has seemingly boosted his popularity, leveraging his infamy to secure lucrative opportunities. While Simon initially feigned being a billionaire, his newfound endeavors may indeed elevate his net worth to a substantial figure in the millions. Despite the 3 women featured in the documentary still grappling with their debts, Leviev has evaded charges of defrauding them, as indicated in the film. His total ill-gotten gains are estimated to exceed $10 million from victims worldwide. Leviev's misdeeds have led to his expulsion from Tinder. However, he maintains an active presence on Instagram. On the same day, Tinder banned him. Leviev hinted at sharing his perspective on the matter via his Instagram story, only to delete the post later that day. Surprisingly, he has 1 million followers on Instagram now. Anticipating the documentary's release, Tinder introduced new guidelines titled Romance Scams: How to Protect Yourself Online, acknowledging the platform's susceptibility to exploitation by scammers preying on vulnerable individuals seeking companionship. The documentary highlighted the extensive victimization orchestrated by Leviev's scams, with numerous women falling prey to his deceitful tactics. However, the 3 courageous women who chose to share their stories for the documentary revealed that they were swindled out of substantial amounts of money, never received any repayment, and endured ongoing financial struggles. In response to their plikt, Cecilia Fjelloy, Pernilla Sjöholm, and Eileen Charlotte have initiated a GoFundMe campaign. Their message on the fundraising page says, "All we want are our lives back." Ready to dive deeper into fascinating stories like this one? Hit that like button to show your support and subscribe to our channel for more captivating content.